For young people, governors are often a bit of an enigma. I suppose I'm the archetypal school governor. I'm middle-aged, I'm middle class, I'm male, and a lot of governors historically have been white Caucasian as well. But governors are one of the largest volunteer forces in the country. Their role is to work in partnership with heads and senior team leaders in the school to deliver the very best standards for education. And if I was asked to sum up what governance is all about, it is about giving children the best possible start in life. And what has kept me invigorated and engaged in this role is the belief that if we can deliver that, if we can actually help schools provide the best possible education for children, that's going to help their families, their communities, and employers, because better educated children, you would hope, would be more employable. There's a growing body of research that says that there is a real link between effective governance and school improvement. It can't be as simple as that, because a lot of things happen in a school, but there is proof that if the governing body is working well, the school does better. That's not surprising, because school governors appoint the head teacher, and in my experience, if you get that wrong, then it is very difficult for the school to keep going in the right direction. They control the budget, they don't spend it, the head teacher does that, and they set the strategic direction for the school. Is it going to federate? Is it going to become a new style academy? Whatever. And yet, and that's why this could be of interest to some of you, as I sit here today, there'll be 40,000 vacant places in state schools in England alone. Why do we get involved? Why does anybody need something like the one-stop shop when you've got schools and churches and local authorities who perhaps most normally and historically have been the recruiters of their own volunteers? Our job really is to encourage people who may have never ever thought about volunteering as a school governor to come forward at a time when even churches are finding it difficult to encourage people to volunteer. And if you think of schools in disadvantaged urban areas and in isolated rural areas, how on earth are they necessarily going to recruit people to volunteer? And there's also, and I've probably just alluded to it already, there's also a raft of common misconceptions about governance. The first one is you have to have children. Oh no, you don't. You have to have children if you want to be a parent governor, but otherwise you don't have to have children. You need to know about education. Quite often it's better if you don't. Because you... No, but education, in my experience, and I'm in my third role as a governor, education can be incredibly introverted, and it is very helpful to have people come in with an external perception and ask what on earth those abbreviations mean, as we did at my governing body on Wednesday of last week. If you're working already, there is a perception that to be a school governor you have to give up your day job. No, you don't. Most of the meetings are in the evening, and anyway they're only in term time. And most, I suppose, as important as I must have children is the feeling that you're too young. No, you're not. As long as you're over 18, you are legally entitled to be a school governor, and there is no upper limit. I mean, common sense prevails, obviously, but there is no upper limit as to what age you can be a governor at. We've had a lot of success. We kicked off in 2000. We've had a lot of success, and in January we secured a placement for our 11,000th volunteer, of which 500 are aged between 18 and 24. They are this age group. We have been successful in recruiting a cadre of people who are not the norm. And, because it's important, our services are free to schools, to local authorities, to employers, and to individual volunteers. Why now? Why is it important? Why is it particularly important now? At the macro level, we've heard there's the drive to localism and big society. One of the best ways, I guess, one of the most overt ways of connecting with your community is through your local schools, because they are at the heart of all communities. At the local authority level, there are enormous pressures on costs and resources. We are seeing a number of our contacts just moving on. And so we think there'll be more call for what we try and do. At the school level, there's the move to new style academies and free schools. And if you're not responsible to the local authority, who's going to hold you accountable for the some millions of pounds that you have to spend and for the way you look after your children? It's going to have to be the governing body, and that governing body is going to need to be proficient in what it does. And why students? Why is it important to have people from this age group come forward as school governors? For one thing, about energy. A governing body, it's very important that it's a real mix of different energies, cultures, aspirations, knowledge, skills, and young people bring that energy and that challenge, plus which they probably understand children rather better than I do, and that's certainly true of my own children. Okay. So the governor role offers development opportunities in finance, a large secondary school, a budget of 7 to 10 million, even a small primary school, a budget of 1.5 million. The governing body appoints, selects the head teacher. It thinks through the strategic plan for the school. It gets involved in projects. We're currently looking to implement a £300,000 extension so the head teacher has an office of her own. It's about team working and communications. And because of the speed at which education changes, you're always learning. Even somebody like myself, who's had a long career in commerce at a senior level, even I have learned a lot from being a school governor. It's about learning more about money, and it's particularly about learning how to listen and work in a very diverse team. Being a governor provides links and understanding of the local community. It's a networking opportunity, and I think somebody's mentioned it already, but actually I think it does add value to a CV. I think it was you, Tom, who said it can be an important addition to a CV. If as a student, employment opportunities are proving elusive, as a school governor at least you'll be available for interview, which may not be the case if you volunteered overseas. Recent research by the Corporation of... Sorry? We were asked to compare and contrast. Okay. Recent research by the City of London Corporation compared the skills development opportunities of 4 different educational volunteering opportunities. And I can certainly circulate that if anybody's interested, against 14 important criteria, and governance is the one that provides the highest value. It's the most challenging, but it's the one that provides the highest value.